ChatGPT is convinced that God is real. Okay, so this TikToker decided to do a video for us. And I just discovered this feature on ChatGPT yesterday because I was like, how are you? I thought you were just dictating to it and then it was talking back.
Yeah.
There's this other feature that's like the headphone feature that Zach showed me yesterday. I was like, oh, this is fire.
This is like the beginning of us getting close to like robots, like the little Star Wars C-3PO that you can ask it questions and start talking to you.
Yeah. So this is pretty dope. Go ahead.
Hey ChatGPT, I have a question. So you know how you're like the smartest computer in the world and you like know all the information to ever exist?
Why is she starting with a compliment?
Yeah, why are you? It's it's an inanimate object still. Okay,
you're like the smartest computer in the world. And
so basically, hey girlies, this is Chat.
If you were a human, would you believe this universe was created, or do you think it's a coincidence? I only want you to answer in one sentence, and you can only pick one, okay?
Okay. First of all, I love this question.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do like how it started as like talking to ChatGPT like it was a person, and then it slowly transitions into like a regular prompt where it's like
very specific prompt.
And by the way, one sentence, you have to pick one.
One sentence, yeah. So let's see what ChatGPT says. So I got to process.
If I were a human, I would believe the universe was created given the complexity and order that suggest intentional design.
Wow, can you tell me more in like 20 seconds, please?
The precise laws of physics, the fine-tuning of the universe, and the complexity of life make it highly improbable that everything happened by coincidence. These factors strongly suggest that an intelligent force or creator is behind the universe rather than random chance.
Come on, bro.
Wow.
Shout out to ChatGPT.
Yeah. The curation of her kind of this TikTok makes me a little skeptical that that's what it actually said.
Okay.
But wow, what a great idea.
All right.
This is why
we do this for you guys.
This is why we do this for you guys.
All right. So we got to ask it a very specific.
Let's get her exact question.
All right, you ready?
Hey ChatGPT, I have a question. So you know how you're like the smartest...
Should I say it word for word?
Just say it word for word.
Okay. Hey ChatGPT, I have a question. You know how you're like the smartest computer in the world and you know all the information to ever exist? If you were a human, would you believe this universe was created, or do you think it's a coincidence? I only want you to answer in one sentence and you can only pick one.
If I were a human, I would believe this universe was created.
Can you explain further in about 20 seconds or so?
I'd say that the universe's complexity, order, and fine-tuning, like the precise conditions needed for life, suggest intentional design rather than random chance. The existence of moral values, consciousness, and the origins of the universe itself also seem to point toward a purposeful creator rather than a mere coincidence.
So what would you tell someone that does not believe there is a creator, even though it seems as all the evidence points towards one?
I'd suggest considering that belief in a creator isn't just about evidence. It's also shaped by personal experiences, worldview, and openness to the possibility. I'd encourage them to explore the fine-tuning of the universe, the origins of life and consciousness, and the moral framework we experience, asking whether these aspects might point to something greater than mere chance. I'd invite them to stay curious and open to discussions that go beyond just science or philosophy.
I have a question for you. Now, if you had to choose one world religion, which one is most probable to point to the actual creator?
Centers on the concept of a personal, loving creator who reveals himself through Jesus Christ, addressing both the human condition and providing a path for redemption.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was great having you on. Wow. That's, they got to reprogram the ChatGPT because all the evangelicals started claiming that there was demons in it, So they're like, we'll give them this one. It is the most probable scenario.
Wow. Do you
that
think
was
that
straight
knows
Cliff
any of your history? And that's why it's curating towards stuff you've already been engaging with it in?
It's like listening to this exact thing. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But you're probably right. There's got to be something, but I think the point of ChatGPT is that it's not like an ad. It's not curated based off of user experience, but instead based off of all the information it's gathered from the internet.
Yeah, I love that you could ask very specific questions and it asks
So much cooler than Google.
So much cooler than Google. Google's trying to work in their AI stuff, but this is way better, and I think I'm all for it. I think it's fire. Shots to ChatGPT, man. Shots at ChatGPT out here. What if someone asked it just legitimately trying to figure out the universe?
Yeah, and they're like, wait.
They get saved?
What do you mean the fine tuning of the universe? Cite sources. And then it's like evidence that demands a verdict, or other ones, but then it's like get the resurrection. It's like the evidence that demands a verdict. It's like actually sending them down the rabbit trail of Jesus and research.
So CPT was saying that he thinks it's learning you, which maybe we'd have to have a clear account with nothing logged in and no history.
Yeah. I do have to say that maybe it's also maybe like with the specific words used, you can kind of prompt it in a certain direction. Because I use the exact same words. I'm not sure if I use the exact same words that she used, if I would get the same response. But I don't feel like it'd be learning you. That feels...
I will say this, that it can't even keep up with me in my thread that I'm in. So let me give you guys a practical example, CP. So I'm working on a devotional, right? I finished the devotional, 60 entries in the devotional.
Yep.
I took my Word document of the devotional. I uploaded it as a Word document. I said, I want you to scan this and tell me places in the devotional where we can squeeze in stories, anecdotes from my personal life to make it more personalized. So it gave me a bunch of different things.
Yep.
Oh, great. I can fill in a story here. Talk about a story here. Okay, great. Then I grabbed a story from a friend of mine and I was like, hey, here's a story. Where will this fit? By the time I added a story the next day, it had forgot all of my entries from the Google Doc and created some random day 53 calling on the name of Jesus. There is no day 53 calling on the name of Jesus. It's totally wrong. So I don't know.
So even though the information was saved in that catalog, it still wasn't smart enough to pull upon it.
Yes, because it was like 7 prompts back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it didn't remember what it retained. So like then I had to take my book manuscript again and upload it again. Because what I did is I took my book manuscript and I took my devotional and I said, read both and give me stories potentially from my book manuscripts that can connect to the devotional. And because it didn't remember the book manuscript that was uploaded earlier while I was working on it. Every single prompt, it almost kind of starts over. So I don't know how much it's learning us like that.
Yeah, I don't think that was the created in purpose. I think what makes it great is what makes it scary. And what makes it great is that it's trying to be the most conscious, inanimate object possible. So pulling upon a bunch of information that is on the interweb to create responses and then kind of not necessarily have opinions, but try to state facts as much as possible in a conversational way. Yep. I think that's really great because when you ask it, it's not just trying to curate to your kind of echo chamber. What also makes it scary is that like, oh man, are we making this thing that's way too smart and it's going to believe that we're a nuisance to mankind because that's where even some humans have become have landed the plane with human existence.
Yep. The Occupy Till I Come collection is here at the Blessed God shop, and it is inspired by Luke chapter 19 and Jesus' parable of the 10 servants. And he called his 10 servants and delivered to them 10 pounds and said unto them, Occupy till I come. It's a powerful reminder for us to live with purpose using our time, talent, and resources to glorify God until Jesus returns. This piece of art is made up of beautiful iconography, telling the story of sowing and reaping, dying to sin, and evangelizing the lost. And when you put on one of the pieces from this collection, it's a constant reminder that we are here to not just sit back and be apathetic, but to be the hands and feet of Jesus, to help usher in God's kingdom on this side of eternity and to care for the least of these. But this entire collection is only available until September 8th at midnight. So go to blessgod.shop and get yours now.